All right, so let's start off. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm an educator, as you know, and I've been one for quite a while. I started out in adult education. I
Hmm.
was manager and of training and employee development for the Housing Authority, which involved, of course, um, adult pedagogy. And so we would conference in our staff with different organizations to help them become more proficient in their day-to-day duties. Um, I got my undergraduate degree at Wichita State University, my um, further terminal degrees at Emory University, and then I matriculated through Georgia State with my PhD.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, what made you want to start a career in education?
I don't know. I was thinking about that when I was answering the questions the other evening. I've
Hmm.
always have had a spirit of helping, and I knew in high school I wanted to be a counselor. And so I achieved that goal after teaching English for 3 years. I went on to become a counselor where I did that for 4 years. Once I got into counseling, I started gravitating towards administration. I became an assistant principal at one of the local middle schools. And after that, I went back into human resources.
Hmm.
I had worked in human resources at Coca-Cola and at the Housing Authority, as I mentioned, and stayed there for 7 years. And then this opportunity came up for a principal to be selected for the DeKalb Early College Academy.
Okay. As being a principal and working like in administration, how was that experience for you?
That experience was great for me because I had a chance to see and understand what good leadership in action and to implement that same type of leadership. I don't believe in authoritarian leadership. I believe in an inclusive way of managing any project, that
Hmm.
there should always be buy-in from the people that the job is going to affect, whether it be students or other adults.
Yeah. So I was doing my little research on you, and I found out that you were like the leader of a program at Agnes Scott for the young women there. Can you tell us a little bit
Yes,
about that?
yes, that was the Ford Teacher Scholar program. And that program's aim was to bring more young people into teaching.
Hmm.
I had the opportunity to connect with leaders from, sorry, had a chance to connect with leaders from different areas and aspects of uh, bringing young people into education. And we practiced for 5 summers. And what we did was to bring kids onto campus, give them an authentic campus experience.
Hmm.
And at the time, we taught them pedagogy that had to do with being teachers. Several DeKalb County principals and high ranking administrators came through that program.
Wow, that's cool. That's
Yes.
really cool. So could you tell us like how did that experience lead you to principaling at schools and then eventually creating DeKalb Early College Academy?
Well, I don't know so much if that particular experience brought me into wanting to be a principal because I never pursued that position. I never pursued the principalship. I could have happily stayed in human resources,
Hmm.
for the duration of my career. But after I learned what early colleges do for young people, getting them going within 2 years, giving them an early graduation date, moving them through the pipeline of education, that just burned a hole into my spirit in terms of how I wanted to further a school of this nature.
Yeah, because I, when my mom first talked about the Cat Early College Academy, I was like, I don't want. I don't know if I want to do that because it didn't give you like the traditional high school. You go to a big, the experience they always show on TV where kids will go to this big high school. They have
Yes.
sports, they have the different clubs and all that. So
Marching
that's what I thought.
bands.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought my high school career would be. And
Yes.
I always envisioned that because I was, that's what I want to do. I want to be like a popular top kid in high school, valedictorian, all that. But the experience that I had at DeKalb Early College Academy, it was like none other.
Absolutely.
The fact that we did 2 years high school, 2 years college, we were able to, my class, we were able to go to that trip where we went to the different HBCUs and stayed overnight and had the experience of actually seeing what college campus life would be like. That was an amazing experience.
The whole concept of early colleges is amazing. And there are several colleges across the United States, colleges, high schools combined across the United States, and they're all doing this fantastic work. I just have the feeling that DECA did it better than anybody else.
Yeah. Can you take us on a short journey of like your thoughts when you first started out on this venture?
Yes. When I first started on this venture, the kind of school that I wanted to create was almost instantaneous in my vision. I knew that I wanted kids to have the opportunity to learn. I wanted them to consume lessons. I wanted them to have an outreach on many different types of learning modalities, to look at other schools, colleges, and then incorporate all of that information into their learning. So I wanted to create a school where kids felt comfortable. I know that with my legacy class, that was terribly difficult because, as you said, they wanted all of the tradition. And at the time, we couldn't offer all of the tradition. As the school progressed, we were able to create more clubs and dance troupes and different things like that. But the immediate thing that I wanted kids to understand was how this could advance them going forward. And I think that even with my legacy class, after the first year, I think they started to get it.
Yeah, because I feel like with my experience, since I was a part of the second class that came in, you all were able to like sort of have the foundation of the expectation that this is not a normal high school experience that you're going to have. But as you go on, you're going to appreciate all the experience that you will have.
Right. Yes, you grasped it really well.
And so as a leader and you're trying to set this foundation, were there any hiccups along the road or like obstacles you had to overcome?
Yes, there were several hiccups. I don't think anybody really knew what the program was supposed to look like. There was not a roadmap, if you will, of what a school should look like to them. To me, it was very clear because I had affiliated myself with the persons that were the intermediaries for the school, and it was very clear from them what the school should look like. But the higher ups in the district did not have that picture immediately. As we began to go forward, I had a lot of support from a lot of different supervisors and key personnel in DeKalb County. And with their assistance, that is what made our program grow, develop, and flourish.
As you're talking about flourishing, could you give us, if you have it off of the top of your head, any accomplishments, well, many of the accomplishments that DECA was able to achieve?
Yes, I've tried to keep up with them through Professor Butler, and I do know that they were named a Blue Ribbon School this year. They had several accolades as being in the top tier of schools in Georgia as far as test scores were concerned. They made great gains in bringing students from where they were to where they needed to go. So daily, DECA is doing something. I may not have everything laid out that I can tell you that they've done, but like you said, doing your research, anyone can look at the gains and the accolades of DECA and see how far they've come. And they have great leadership. The principal, Mr. Ed Connor, picked up the vision and he just ran with it, which was great.
Awesome. So as an educator and a person that just wants to help and better the lives of youth and just anybody around them, what do you see your future being?
Well, since I've retired, I started my own consulting business as far as working with principals is concerned. And that's been my focus, to work with struggling or emerging principals to help them better run their schools. As I was saying, to work with emerging or principals who were struggling, to help them to take a look at their school, all of the dynamics that you need to run a school, and then do a dissection of the problems and then come to solutions. I've worked with Pearson North American School Services, where I worked in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, from February of 2015 to September of that same year. I also came back to DeKalb and I worked with teachers there who also needed that support. And I worked with the Atlanta Public Schools, where we again worked with emerging leaders.
How was that experience so far for you?
Well, it was great. Doing school transformation is really almost an art form, because there are so many pieces that you have to look at as to why a school may be struggling, and then collaborate with so many different people to come up with answers for that principal. And the school that I was working, the principal was able to look at the school, reimagine it, and set up new ways of operating. And so the school ran smoothly going forward.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Dr. Emerson, I thank you for taking the time out to be the first interviewee for my video series. Guys, make sure that you can follow Dr. Emerson on LinkedIn. Could you give them more information where they can contact you in regards to your consultation business?
Yes, it's Performance Consultants, Inc. And I can be reached at my email at bkemer@bellsouth.net. Should anybody be interested in doing some work with their emerging or struggling principals.
Thank you again, Dr. Emerson, so much. Being a DECA student was a great experience for me. I will never forget it.
Well, I'm glad you came through, Eric. You really added a lot to the student body. So I'm as much appreciative to you as you would be to me.
Thank you, Dr. Emerson.
All right, you take care. And again, thank you very much.
No problem, thank you.
All right, you take care.